So, if you haven't already known, there is a huge debate between me and Dr. Xskull about Mitama vs Jizo and who's the better Uber in the game. Now, this is a good time to make this video because if you haven't already known, Dr. Xskull has a video about the top 10 best Ubers in the game, which is one of our most viewed videos. But instead of me advertising it right now, I'll just say please do not watch that video. It is outdated and inaccurate. The biggest mistake there was Jizo over Mitama. Dr. Xskull to this day still thinks Jizo is better than Mitama and tricked you guys to thinking Jizo is number 1. And I'm being serious, he did corrupt you. On the Battle Cats Amino, we set a Mitama vs Jizo poll there. And Amino has a very fair poll system. Some other people even made the same poll, Mitama dominating every single poll. Even with the bias in Dr. Xskull's poll, which you can see up on the screen, Mitama still dominates. Probably because there are some very good players here in the Battle Cats Amino, and I recommend you joining there. While we also made a poll here on YouTube of Mitama vs Jizo, the majority said Jizo is better than Mitama. And we all know our target audience is beginner players. There's a good chance that you probably haven't completed story mode yet. You're probably a beginner. Simply, this is just shameful how we corrupted our viewers into thinking Jizo is number 1. I, as Xskull, don't want lies on my channel, and saying Jizo is the best Uber is simply not true. Then what is the best Uber in the game? Well, if you haven't already figured out, it's Mitama. And you don't have to take my word for it. Ask Lucas IV, Jones, Caxer, Wuffa, and practically every good Battle Cats player in the community. So if you don't believe me, how about you go ask them? But for those who already do agree with me, congrats, you have the mindset of a good Battle Cats player. For those who disagree, let me explain. First of all, let's just talk about Mitama. Usually people just see her stats and assume she's a traded debuffer and leave her be. Well, that's not the case. She has multiple roles and unique features of an Uber that are extremely useful and are unreplaceable by nearly all Ubers. Let's talk about something most people don't talk about Mitama, her offensive capabilities. She has amazing role in battle in being a backline attacker and sniper. Let's compare her with one of the best generalist rushers in the game, Peach Devils. As you see, they have nearly identical damage and DPS. Though Peach Devils may have more range at first, remember that Mitama has an absolutely bonkers long distance attack, one of the largest piercing ranges in the game. This means she can hit an insanely large area of enemies and deal constant DPS and damage to the enemies. But the real star of the show is the slow ability. Because of Mitama's extreme long distance and not to mention almost instant attack animation, it's nearly impossible for Mitama to actually miss her target. She will deal heavy constant damage along with a near perma-slow effect to slow enemies to a crawl. This will let Mitama deal even more heavy damage and possibly other backline attackers a chance to destroy the enemies. Along with this near perma-slow effect comes with amazing defensive capabilities. She can slow fast rush enemies down and probably keep them slowed until they die. You may think that a fast rush enemy can get into Mitama's blind spot, but remember, Mitama has less than half a second attack animation. She has the ability to even hit brawlers with ease, the fastest enemy in the game. Except Assassin Bear, because he stole each kill that he doesn't even count as an enemy. To put Mitama's defensive capabilities in simple terms, try Mitama Unjust War, or what's more known as the Manic Dark stage. She'll be able to slow down the Shy Boy, wreck the Sir Seal with her massive piercing range and great DPS so you could get cash, and finally, you can slow Bun Bun down so he becomes practically harmless. She's amazing in stages that require heavy defense like Oris Graveyard or Haunted 1 LDK. Speaking of defense, she has amazing survivability. She has resistance against traded enemies, which means she has anywhere from 150 to 200,000 HP against traded. This sounds extremely overpowered until you realize she has 15 knockbacks. Definitely not a tank. On a unit, it depends whether KB is good or bad for a cat. It depends. A backline or sniper cat needs more KB so it could reposition itself into a safer standing ground and attack once more. A tank would need less KB because tanks need to absorb damage instead of constantly getting repositioned. For Mitama's case, the 15 KB was great. She can reposition herself 15 times in battle. This is absolutely insane, and even if she takes an extreme hit from something like Cappy, she still has 200,000 HP. She can still keep going, though Cappy will probably never hit Mitama because Mitama's a very small blind spot. But it's something nice to put in consideration. Now, along with her having 15 KB, people argue that it's bad since she gets perma KB too easily. Well, sorry to say, but you definitely tested her against a Mr. Mole, or in other words, you tested her on the wrong stages. The only enemies that could realistically perma KB Mitama are traitless enemies. To be specific, Mr. Mole, Master A, and Camo. She's horrible against those enemies, and you shouldn't even use her against traitless in the first place, because she has very low HP and no slow against those. That is one of her only weaknesses. Majority of the time, you'll use her against traded stages. And of course, traded enemies usually can't snipe Mitama and don't have the rapid long-range attacks to KB Mitama. So for those who are about to question that, there's your answer. That's really it about Mitama. Now let's recap. She has amazing offensive capabilities, she has extremely good defensive capabilities, she has very useful abilities, multiple usages, very valuable role in general that shines in late SOL, and practically immortal because of her amazing survivability. You could even call her the perfect Uber. She has almost every good aspect to be a good Uber. But what about our friend Jizo? Well, he's pretty easy to explain. He's a combination of Paris Cat and Cameraman Cat. Yep. That's it. That's the king of all Ubers. They're #1 Uber and the best cat in the game. A modified salon cat. Okay, that might have been too harsh, but honestly, that's how you explain Jizo. I'm not saying he's a bad Uber, he's still really good. Second best in this case. A modified salon cat is actually really useful in many parts of the game. He's effective against Flag and Angel, so he deletes those from the game. He has extremely cheap cost for his monstrous stats. He can rack up insane amounts of DPS in short times, and his 2 other forms are also pretty nice too. The reason why Jizo is under Mitama is a super simple and basic role, though some say basic doesn't mean worse, and see spammable AoE attacker more useful than a literal god of destruction. Just remember it's easily replaceable, and spammable AoE attacker is good at any part of the game, though Mitama's multiple usages in being an offense and defensive unit at the same time just outshine Jizo's basic role, and is generally better in harder stages in later game. Here, go try Boiling Spring with Jizo. It's not going to be easy, where if you use Mitama, you're going to completely demolish that stage. Overall, to summarize, just read this comment on the screen here. Jizo has very good stats for spammable AoE attacker, while Mitama has better stats, more usage, and a better role that shuts down every threatening traded enemy in the game. Well, that's all for now, folks. Hopefully I changed your viewpoint in some way, and please subscribe. It shows your support for this channel. And I hope you enjoyed.